The commodification of women's bodies has gone too far. Society, it's pushing in the direction that women have to look beautiful, look a certain way in order to be successful. The opposing argument was saying that
one of the most influential female content creators of our time.
She is the founder of Uplift You.
Please welcome Leana Deeb.
I always loved being able to hear or read comments about my body. I didn't ever do it just for validation. There were so many times that I wanted to wear shorts and a sports bra just because I felt confident in it. I connected with my faith, learned the meaning of modesty, and it meant deleting everything and starting all over. It was just notifying all my partners and stuff, like so many people have invested into me, and now I'm gonna just like delete everything and cover up.
You shouldn't let your previous content and what you've always done necessarily define you.
I went from having like millions of likes every time, and so covering up, I had to learn.
This is the question I want to ask you. What is your definition of female empowerment?
Oh gosh.
Just a quick one, guys. We have an offer running on the Thirst app right now. And for those who don't know, this is an app which I built to give you everything that you could possibly need in order to get yourself in shape. So this is everything which I've learned over the past 18 years of training, speaking to all of the experts and coaching thousands of clients. Since the launch of the app, we've helped over 100,000 people to get one step closer to achieving their goals. So those people no longer were wasting time in the gym trying to figure out what exercises they should be doing, how many reps, how many sets, when they should rest, what meal plan they should be following that's going to be best suited for them. No more of that. For less than the price of one PT session, you can get access to over hundreds of programs to help you build strength, power, and size, along with meal plans to help you build muscle, lose fat, and optimize your health and well-being, whilst also allowing you to have some degree of flexibility in your life. So now's the time to get in shape, make it easier for yourself with a system that actually works, with the minimal input and the absolute maximum output. Let's get into the video. What's up, guys, and welcome back to First Things Thirst. We have Leana Deeb in the building.
Thank you so much for having me here. I am so excited to do this podcast.
Yeah, is it the first one you've done for a while?
Yeah, the first ever podcast I did was maybe last year and didn't end up going out. And then I did one with my manager and then also Sean, Sean. Yeah. So
Nice.
Haven't really done a proper like podcast in a minute. So this is kind of like the first ever one, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, I'm sure after the speech and the debate which you did in Oxford, this will probably be a breeze.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
do you still get nervous?
I definitely still get nervous, but I don't know. Podcasting is just like a different kind of, you're like two people are like sitting down, like staring into each other's like, I think it's like, I don't know. I feel like if I continue to keep doing it more and more, it will get easier, but definitely still get nervous for sure.
It's like anything. It's just the repetitions of doing something. The more you do it, the better you get. Like when I first started doing this podcast, it was so intimidating for me that we had to sit on either side of the table because I wanted to be like a little bit further apart, so it wasn't like so in your face. But now
and you don't like that setup?
No, this is much better now, I think.
Okay, I was thinking. I mean, for those that don't know, I am going to be starting a podcast too. I haven't really announced it yet.
Yeah.
So but I was thinking of doing it like that far apart. So maybe I shouldn't.
You can just ease yourself into it, whatever you're comfortable with. What's made you want to do that?
I think being able to reach people and to share my story a little bit more, and also to speak about other people's stories and to relate to them. And I think, I don't know, there's not a lot of women in terms of like covered women really in the space being able to coexist and speak to just a normal, like for example, like me and you speaking right now. There's not a lot of hijabi women that are going to go on. You just don't see it in the space. So I feel like it's definitely needed. And I guess, I feel like podcasting is definitely the next thing for a lot of people.
It's definitely getting more popular.
Yeah.
But not necessarily everybody should do a podcast, I think.
Okay, that's, I didn't mean that, to be honest.
But I think you'd be very good because you're smart. You could have a lot to offer. You're a great role model for people. And there'd be a lot of good conversations you could have. Yeah,
I also think short form, you can't really speak your truth as much as you want in like a 60-second clip. And so I
personally despise doing short form content.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it is, but I don't love doing short form content as much as YouTube. I feel like YouTube is just like, you can create a movie, you can speak however you want to speak, and you won't also get judged in that 60-second clip as much as like a whole YouTube video.
How long have you been creating content for now?
It's been almost 4 years now, I think, going on 4 years. I started in 2020-ish. Was it? Or no, COVID. When was COVID?
2020.
Okay, yeah. Like right before COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been definitely a good journey, but challenging as well. How long has it been for you?
For me, Instagram, I was doing little bits of that since like 2012.
Okay.
But YouTube, I decided to bite the bullet and do it in, my first video went out in 2016.
Okay. Yeah, you're an OG in this space, so it's
Well, I'm quite glad that I still have some sort of relevancy, because a lot of people have come and gone, and I think for you to kind of stay there over a long period of time is difficult, because not only do you as a person change, but also like the trends can change, and also you get older as well. So the content which you used to make, you kind of grow out of it a little bit, and then maybe the journey that you now take is something which maybe people aren't as interested in, or people just decide to not want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it is, if you want to do it properly, it's like a full-time business now.
Yeah.
It's like it's full on. You've got to sort of dedicate yourself to it. Either you're doing it all by yourself, or you have a team. And then if you have a team, it costs money. So you got to get money coming in so you can pay the team.
No, the space is super competitive as well. I feel like, because I guess you could say I was kind of like, I started at the perfect time. I feel like if I would have started now, it would be completely different, because everyone is I think everyone wants to be a content creator nowadays. It's not like they want to grow up and be a lawyer as much. I mean, of course, there's still people out there doing it, but now Gen Z is coming up and realizing that content creation is the next like 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think, I don't know who said this, but I think in the Middle East, a lot of the kids who are going to school, the number one most popular profession that they all want to go into is content creation. So it's like,
it's also scary in terms of like, I don't know, if everyone starts doing content creation,
For me, I think it would be to start from scratch. That would be quite a big task. So I'd be like, where should I even start? What do I talk about? And you just got to do a lot to build up that brand and to have that reputation and have that just solid, mountain of work behind you. Like you can't just become an overnight sensation. Well, some people can. There's people like Ashton Hall who got viral very quickly, but then I don't think going viral is what you want. It's nice to have it like slow and gradual.
Yeah, mine was definitely overnight.
Really?
Which is not great for like, now I'm realizing it wasn't as, I wish I would have went through the pain of like building it slowly over time, because I would have learned to like deal with, I don't know, more stress. I think like mine took off overnight, basically. It was like, I think I was growing like 1 million followers a month at the time. And so it was,
I need to be taking notes.
No. It was it was intense. Like I was kind of just like, where is this all coming from? That's when I was like, obviously I was showing my body at the time and my hair, and fitness was it was super pretty. Like there wasn't, maybe in the like male space, it was more like intense, but for women, in terms of like women posting content online, I didn't ever see women sweating or like repping out super intense, like, like when you're training till failure and you're like going so hard. Like I didn't see a woman training that way. But when I found the gym, that's how I started training. And then like, that's kind of when I started posting content. And I guess the way that I edited like my content, and it was like, obviously the whole thing, it was like a movie. I also used so much like rap music, and then I guess that was like different at the time in TikTok and Instagram, and that's kind of what like blew me up overnight. And
how did you know how to edit things in a certain way? Do you feel like, oh, this is just my style, I like it, I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing, just want to do my own thing?
I think it started off with first just practicing, and then I started like playing around with like the zoom levels, and then I would always edit to music. So I loved like trap music, like super like Key Glock, Drake, Lil Baby. And so I would take the music and then start off with like a clip that was going to grab somebody's attention, like the 3 second, like first 3 seconds, you have to grab their attention. And then I would make sure that it was like aspirational, something that people wanted to see, which was like me sweating my body, my hair. And then, showed the full workout, made sure I was giving them value in the content. And then I just kind of found that like that consistent thing, and then just continued on with it every single day for like 2 years straight. I like did not take one day off, because it like once everything started going, you kind of don't want to lose that. And
when the momentum's there, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
So, well, how are you handling that you found fame?
Oh my God, it was a lot. I feel like when you I mean, I'm sure you relate to this. When you start having a social media platform, some people around you don't really understand, and you kind of go through this like, I don't know, not lonely chapter a little bit, but
I went through that.
Yeah, it was definitely like a lonely chapter trying to figure it out. But I also found like my management at the time. I was like, I didn't like I was going to sign to some agency in the beginning, but it seemed really dodgy. And then like I was like looking online, like marketing. I didn't even know what I was looking for. And I found Genflow, and I guess my manager found me through there. I emailed them and I was like, I need help with like managing my platform, and that kind of just became like also learning from a team. And I think like management and stuff like that is also. Did you have management or any? No. Okay,
I was doing everything myself. I think I remember 2017 when I was taking it seriously.
Okay,
things were quite different then. I think I definitely should have hired a cameraman sooner. Or at least an editor, because I was doing everything by myself.
You were editing your own YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh no, I never edited my YouTube.
I was doing everything myself, but more so because I don't know if I wasn't fully confident in front of the camera, and I was quite selective with how I wanted to portray myself. And I guess because a lot of the content I was making was very technical with the gym stuff. So I knew that I had to edit things in a certain way so that when I spoke about something, the exact perfect visual clip would go over it.
Right.
Which a normal editor wouldn't get that. Maybe an editor who had a little bit of background with lifting would understand. But I knew that like there would be too much changes that needed to be done. And then I became a bit of a control freak. But anyway, that, like you said about the Lonely Chapter, that year was my version of the Lonely Chapter, because all I did was film, edit, lived in London, had loads of online clients just doing one-to-one coaching via Skype at the time. So that was my life.
What were you doing before like social media?
Personal trainer.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like the old school personal trainer. I did have my own gym in Newcastle.
Okay. You had your own gym?
It was like a studio gym. We converted this warehouse into a gym.
Nice.
So it was me, business partner. We would train our clients there. And I did that for a few years. But I'm kind of glad I did it, because it built up the foundations of my knowledge and the experience with coaching people.
Yeah.
Which I think then allowed me to have the success I had on YouTube. Because it was like I was talking to a client.
Yeah.
I knew all the mistakes they were making, all the problems they were facing, and I was just trying to simplify things as much as possible so people understood what it is that they need to do when they go to the gym, and if they're lifting a weight, what do they need to think about? What are the cues? What are the mistakes they should not be making?
Yeah.
And that was, I grew a lot in that year.
Yeah. I mean, editors won't really understand. I mean, unless you really teach them, like the nitty gritty parts. But I guess in terms of like Lonely Chapter, I think now, like at the part of like your career, like, I mean, I am kind of going through a phase where like you still have love for the people in your circle, or like your previous circle, but it doesn't feel as like you don't have similar, I don't know. Is it like similar? You can't, I think conversations are forced a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have that now, or have you found like
I had that more so when I lived in the UK. I had to move from the place where I had my gym to London, because I knew, as much as I loved them, all my friends, like we all had each other's back and stuff, they didn't really have the same level of ambition that I had. And I could see and predict what my future would look like if I was to just stay in that city.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I want to make the move and, progress, I'm going to have to move to a bigger city, and I'm just going to have to start from scratch. And I think my biggest problem when I moved to London was I just didn't go out and try to make friends. I kind of locked myself away a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Dubai, I guess it was kind of easier because I had a following behind me, so it was easier to reach out.
Yeah.
But now a lot of my circles are not necessarily in fitness. Like I have my entrepreneur friends, are people who are just they're doing their own thing, but they're successful, but they're not necessarily influencers. So it's a good mix.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So what was it that made you make that decision to change the content that you were putting out that was working for you and just get rid of it all and almost rebrand yourself?
I think when success came so quickly, I was questioning where it was coming from. Like I understood if you work hard and you give value and treat people well, like the universe, the creator will reward you. I wasn't really like practicing faith at the time. I grew up in a household where my mom was like a Catholic revert. Like she converted to Islam when she married my dad. And
what is a Catholic griever?
So like we say revert because
revert.
Yeah, or convert, like she converted to Islam. So I like kind of understood faith a little bit, but I didn't really have a great relationship with Islam. I kind of thought the religion was oppressive towards women, but it was like more so, I mean, learning now, it's like culture's oppressive, not really religion. And yeah, so I had a really like a bad relationship with religion, but I always believed in a higher power. So I was like, where is this all coming from? I felt extremely grateful, and I was having a conversation with my manager, and because it was like, I felt extremely low, even though all that success was there. I was like, brands, like the dream brands that I wanted to work with, so much money was coming at like the tip of my finger, like, or at my fingertips. And I was just, I didn't really know how to manage. I mean, I guess like, I just felt empty. Yeah. I felt empty. And he had mentioned you need to give in charity, which is like zakat is one of the pillars of Islam, means like giving in charity. And so he had mentioned that, and it kind of like drew me closer to learning more about the faith, and having just a deeper purpose, I guess, a connection to something, because I just felt extremely empty. I was also like not really having a great relationship with my parents and didn't really have like many friends at the time. So I just felt so, I guess, alone. Now I'm good with my parents and stuff, but like, yeah, I felt just extremely empty, and I guess finding faith and learning about modesty and the reason behind modesty, because I kind of thought hijab was, I thought hijab was oppressive. I thought you had to wear it for a man, if I'm being completely honest. And I didn't, because I wasn't taught it from a young age. And I think there's a lot of like, even here in Dubai or like in the US, you grow into a religion, you grow into a family that maybe practices or doesn't really practice it. My parents never like enforced it onto me. My mom doesn't wear hijab. A lot of people think that like, I don't know, Muslim women get forced into it.
Yeah. It's funny, the like a lot of people in the West, their opinion on like Middle Eastern women.
Yeah.
And how, if you're the type of woman that has to wear a hijab, then you're literally not allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's actually not quite true.
Yeah, no, and I think I even thought that living in the West. And so I thought I could never like be a career woman and even speak in settings like this. I thought I was never able to do, I guess, normal things, but that was more the culture. And so I learned truly what the meaning behind modesty was, and it's not for a man. Of course, it does have things to do with like men in terms of it can like be a form of protection in some cases. Obviously, there's all types of people out there, but like in terms of like when I was not covered, the amount of catcalling or the way that people would like treat me with as much respect as well. Not saying that women that don't cover are not like respected, but I didn't feel. I mean now, because I've lived both lives, I guess both lives, I could tell the difference between being covered and not being covered. But it's not just for men. It's also like who you are as a person, how you treat others, learning how to rely on more of like internal love versus like validation, which like in the gym, I was obsessed with validation. Like I I always loved being able to hear or read comments about my body, and that kind of becomes,
you worked hard for it.
yeah, of course, in which you love. I love that. I didn't ever do it just for validation. And I think that people say that, oh, women dress a certain way just to be validated by men. Like there was a thing going on TikTok for a while, which that's not true at all, because there was so many times that I wanted to wear shorts and a sports bra just because I felt confident in it. And now it's like, sorry, I just went blank. Where are we going?
The decision to wanting to do this.
Yeah. So yeah, anyways, I connected with my faith and learned the meaning of modesty, and it meant deleting everything and starting all over. And so
it's quite interesting how it wasn't like let's gradually move into this. It's like, right, delete everything.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I did kind of gradually go into it
a little bit.
So, I mean, like I knew it's what I wanted, but I went from like shorts to leggings and then sports bras to like a crop top. And then once I made the decision, okay, I'm only going to wear leggings and only a crop top, I'm not going to wear a sports bra anymore. Then it was like, okay, I need to cover my body, my stomach, which, like, you know, in fitness, if you have abs or something, it's your selling point. And I think that was my fear, because I built this brand around Gymshark. I was selling so many leggings, so many sports bras. I had I have a fitness app, and selling a fitness app, they need to see your body in order. I mean, I believe that.
But I know exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like
it's exactly. So they need to see your body to even be inspired. Like, why should I trust you? Right? Because you built the physique.
Yeah.
And so it was just notifying all my partners and stuff. Like, so many people have invested into me, and now I'm going to just like delete everything and cover up. And so I think a lot of people were definitely scared. I mean, my manager was like, he was like, okay, wait, let's just like,
let's sing this
let's
through.
do this one at a, like, let's do it slowly. But there was like a time where I just knew instantly, like, and I called him and I was like, I'm deleting all my content. And he was like, wait, let me notify the brands. Like, let me notify them. And I was like, no, I'm doing it now. I need to do it now. Otherwise I'll never do it, because it's like, you have to kind of just like pull the trigger a little bit and just get it over with. And yeah, so
that's so cool. Like, just the amount of effort that has gone into creating everything.
Yeah.
For it to vanish. That's like one of my biggest fears. If particularly, for example, like my YouTube and Instagram, like there's so much effort gone into it, but also it's like I don't know, it's like a diary for myself. Like I like to look back and watch some older videos or look at some things which I've done. Even if I look back at it and I cringe, like I look at some of my old content or somebody puts it on, I'm like, I can't even watch that. Like, that's not me anymore. But I'll leave it up there.
Yeah.
So I
mean, I've archived it. So sometimes I will go back and like look at it a little bit, because I definitely think transitioning from being uncovered to being covered, it's in being in the fitness space still, it's been challenging. I believe and love the meaning of modesty, the meaning of hijab, but it's still, since I've been uncovered all of my life and it's only been 2 years of wearing it, you're still kind of like finding this, like, I don't know, kind of a newer version of you. And I also was obsessed with music. Like, music was my everything. Like, I would listen to music every single morning. I would sleep with music in the gym. It was like a part of me. And I also like cut that out.
Yeah, no, I saw your post about you not training to music anymore. I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, music it's an art. I mean, I still appreciate music if I hear it.
You went from like listening to all that trap music, all that, the swear words and everything. You're like, no more.
Yeah. I think I always think about like the mental aspect of it as well. Yeah.
Well, for me, I know there's certain things which I would listen to in the gym, but the moment I step out of the gym, I'm like, this is not good for me. Like, I'll change it and put something more uplifting on.
Yep.
But you're right, I love music, but then I sometimes wonder, it's like, am I just constantly listening to it because I refuse to just be there in silence and listen to my own thoughts? Am I trying to distract myself from something, or am I almost reliant upon this for this feeling of dopamine because it makes you feel good?
Yep. Do you have do you practice faith or anything, or do you have a kind of, I don't know, journaling or something that you do besides fitness? Because I'm sure with all the stress that you go through, I mean, I can feel the mental like yeah, it gets hard at times. So what do you like
Just,
go to?
for me, that's just time alone.
Time alone.
Alone time, just talking to myself and thinking. I think that's probably the best thing for me, because I'm a little bit more of an introverted person. So when I have that time to myself, that's when I recharge. And I very much like the person inside of my head that I can have a conversation with. So that's kind of my go-to. I do believe in a higher power, probably a little bit more spiritual, but I don't necessarily practice any faith. But I feel like I would not be surprised if this changes in 5 to 10 years or whatever. Especially now, I feel like there's a trend of more people turning towards faith. Like I don't know if it's the algorithm, maybe like telling me to do something, but I do feel as though like a lot of people online who I've been following or even spoken to in podcasts, they do speak very highly of religion, and they say that is the thing that has changed them. So I'm very open-minded. So I'm open to trying things and seeing kind of what works for me. But you're right, like you can go through these phases in life where, you know, you work hard and then you get everything, like all these things you've ever wanted, you now have. And it's weird because even though you feel like that is the thing that you've wanted so much and would make you happy, a lot of these things don't actually end up being as good as you thought they would be. They're not all that cracked out to be. And then you're just like, oh, so now what? Like there has to be something else to it.
Yeah.
And religion probably is that thing. Mm-hmm.
Even a higher power, like just some form of spirituality. Like, you don't meditate?
I've tried.
No, it doesn't work. So literally just sitting and talking to yourself. Do you ever deal with like negative thoughts?
No, I'm pretty good with that, you know.
Okay, so you're pretty positive.
Yeah, I think I feel them creep in.
Okay.
But I'm very optimistic. I think more so just because of the journey and path which I've been on. A lot of things which I had thought at the time would be a complete disaster and a huge problem, most of the time end up working out in your favor. And usually the periods of hardship or suffering that you go through, they're the key moments in your life where you almost become a new person. It's like a rebirth, and then it makes you stronger and more resilient. So if there is a moment now where things really suck, or there's a lot of pressure, or I'm, not feeling great, I'm like, okay, I'm going through a period of change. And usually on the other side of that, everything is all good.
In the beginning, did you always have that though? Or because I know a lot of it comes from also like the home that you've been brought up into. Like if you are either like super optimistic, it usually comes from like parents, or would you say you've always had that from the beginning?
I think my dad's been a very good role model. I never see him complain, and he's always very positive. And he's gone through his fair share of hardships, like we all have as a family. And to see how he had dealt with things made me think, okay, like if he's gone through all of that, then I can go through it as well.
Yeah.
But I think particularly when I was younger, when I was experiencing, I don't know if it's a stretch to say that I'd been depressed. I don't think it was ever that bad. But whenever I was going through moments of feeling sad or unhappy, I think I didn't realize that it's a sign for you that something needs to change.
Yeah.
Like you are not currently happy with this situation, your environment, whatever it might be. So you need to change something in order to get rid of this feeling and become happier.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I just didn't understand it. So I would almost just kind of bask in it and not change anything. And I'd be like, well, why do I still feel bad? And it's like, well, because you're still living in this environment. So definitely got better.
Yeah. And I think even like myself as well, I always kind of think about living in alignment, like making sure I'm always aligned with the mission that I'm on. And I feel like that's probably like similar, like always listening to that voice that something's not right and needs to change, which was kind of like when I transitioned completely, listening to it. Yeah.
Social media is quite funny as well, because you could be like perfectly content and happy.
Yeah.
And you're just making your content, and then people are like, why do you look so miserable?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm actually really happy. But okay, thanks for that.
Yeah. I always get so many comments that I'm like sad as well, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I also think maybe I used to smile so much in my content and dance like all the time. And I think now that I'm not really smiling and dancing, and I think people think like, what's wrong with you? But no, I don't.
Well, this is again the weird thing with social media, because I have days when I wake up and I'm just like, I'm not in the best mood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the worst mood. I'm just me. And it's not like I'm putting on a show. I think a lot of people on social media, they're not necessarily being fully transparent with who they are. Like, they're putting on a show for the audience, and it's not a true representation of who they are.
Yep.
Even for myself, like, there's a difference between me holding the camera and vlogging with it. Like, I'm much more personal. It's like a one-to-one with either myself or the audience. But when my cameraman comes and it's like, camera's on me, I like perform a little bit.
Yeah, it's different.
And it's like more of a over-exaggerated, over-the-top version of myself, because, I mean, I have to be engaging, because if I'm not engaging, you guys are just going to switch off and go watch something else. But like, I'm not necessarily that person all the time. Like, I have like my highs and lows, but I'm just pretty chill most of the time.
You don't share the lows as much, do you? Or
No.
I
think that's maybe again because of like watching how my dad would deal with stuff.
Yeah.
And again, maybe because I'm a man. I think men often have troubles with expressing themselves or talking about feelings and emotions. I bottle it up and I just keep it in, which is probably the worst thing to do.
That's not a great thing.
But that's what I've always done.
Yeah.
And I always just think, well, everybody else has got their own problems and stuff to deal with. Nobody wants to hear about my problems. Like, I'll just get on and do my thing.
I mean, you never know. I mean, the audience, like your audience, I'm sure could relate in that way. But obviously, it's hard showing the low moments because you don't also want to film those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, not that I cry often, but it's not like I'm going to spontaneously start crying and be like, right, get the camera out, let's get these tears.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like times that I film myself crying, I'm always like kind of like, it feels weird. Like I shouldn't be doing this. Like it's not,
Have you done it before?
Like once, maybe twice.
They were genuine tears though.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, I understand it, but I think for men and for women, it's different. But there's been a few times where I have maybe opened up about certain things. People love that,
Yeah.
Because I think people just assume, maybe it's with me or other people, that life is perfect and then nobody's got their problems which they're dealing with. And you're supposed to be this person who has everything under control.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe now will be the start of me opening up. Might start a new channel.
Yeah.
Talking about my problems.
Opening so many different, you're opening a fitness channel too, right?
That's already, it's started, yeah. It's like
nice.
2 months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's interesting, obviously, the journey you've gone through where you have rebranded and started from scratch. I've also kind of gone through this as well, where you shouldn't let your previous content and what you've always done necessarily define you. So I think a lot of people, whether it's the art of creation or just within their career, because they're in this particular career and it's the thing that they're good at and they've always done, they let that define them. And then they think, well, actually, really, I want to do this.
Yeah.
But because this is who I am, that's what people know me for, I guess I'm going to carry on doing this now. So people shouldn't be afraid to go in a completely different direction if that's what they feel like doing.
Yeah, I think it can be scary in the moment for sure. Even, I mean, it felt scary when I made that massive transition, but also now going into podcasting, it feels like, is this the right choice? I should be like, should I be doing this? Is that how you felt as well? Like when starting a podcast, or did you know you were going to still do fitness at the same time? Or
I felt like, first of all, it was a maturity thing. I could not have done a podcast at like 25. Like, I would have said too many stupid things, asked too many inappropriate questions, and it probably would have got me in trouble. So there's a thing where as you mature and you become wiser, you will naturally become a better conversationalist. But also just because I was meeting so many amazing people here, having these great conversations, and it wasn't necessarily a right fit to put that out on like a vlogging channel. So I was like, okay, I need to do something else. But again, I never really saw myself as being a podcast host. I never saw myself or predicted that I would be like a coach, teaching people.
Yeah.
Things just kind of happen. But naturally, I'm more of a curious person who likes to ask questions and listen versus the person who likes to yap.
Me
Like,
too. I feel like it's probably easier maybe to sit and ask questions than to speak about yours, depending on who though, right?
Yeah, because there is an art in shutting up, letting the person talk, asking the right question, always having the next question ready, being a good enough host that your guests can relax and open up, but to also bring out the best in them.
That's
so
true.
it's both of them are a skill.
I guess I don't know. I guess I'll learn going into it. So I haven't. Yeah,
you'll find out for sure.
Yeah.
So initially, when you made this transition, what was the overall response from like your current audience and followers? Like, were people there supporting you, or were they like, "What are you doing?"
It was a mix of both because I'm half Hispanic and half Arab, Palestinian and Uruguayan, and I also have a large like Mexican and Brazilian community. So, women in Brazil, So it was like,
what was the percentage of men versus women?
Oh my gosh, at the time I think it was like 70, no, maybe 60-40. Now it's rise to almost like 80-20 because obviously I don't think men want to see as much. Yeah. But oh my gosh, it was actually not bad, surprisingly. Like, I've definitely lost followers, but I've gained so many followers, and I'm actually shocked that I was able to still maintain a community, still maintain a following, even engagement. Like, obviously my engagement wasn't as high as showing my body, but now there's more. I wouldn't say there wasn't meaning before, but it's aligned with whoever is on like a similar path, I guess. And yeah, I think it was this. I kind of knew that people were going to think, oh my gosh, her family has forced her into this, or she's married a man and she has to cover for him now, which I'm not married. My parents didn't force me into it. My parents were actually like kind of scared for me because they were like, don't make this risk right now. Like, you're going to lose all your success. And so, I mean, obviously now it's worked out great. And we've also like, whenever I was like speaking to my team about it, I tried to think about how it could benefit brands as well. I mean, you have to, if I'm still going to continue social media, I was thinking like, okay, I'm supposed to come out with a legging with Gymshark. Can we now like work on modest wear, for example? Because I started just training in men's clothing.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what would you even begin to think about wearing? Because you want something that is comfortable, first of all, something that's going to cover up. And then, I guess, at the time, did you care how it looked? Like the clothing itself? I love
clothing. I love the things that you put on make you feel so good. And I would wear all the sets, the colors, everything. Gymshark drops so many things. So I would always wear every single thing. And going from that to literally wearing like gray sweatpants with like a baggy t-shirt and another like undertop. And it was not great at the time.
But so did Gymshark reach out to you, or did you reach out to them? And why Gymshark?
So when I started my fitness journey, I was always wearing Gymshark. Like when I was 16, I was always in Gymshark leggings, everything. And whenever I started content creation, I knew that was the brand that I wanted to work with. So I declined every single brand except for, I tried like one brand at the time, but I was like, no, this is not it. I'm going to wait for Gymshark. And so I just continued creating content, not earning any money. I was like in credit card debt, but I was like, no, I want the brands that I want to work with. And so once Gymshark saw that I was like, I took off, like skyrocketed, it was kind of like every single brand came to me. And I had like this whole table to choose from. And I was like, Gymshark all the way.
Yeah. And they've got the experience. They've got the contacts.
Yep.
When did they first launch the Modest line? When was this?
So we did it in January, this past January.
Okay.
But we've launched like, did we launch anything in between? No, we did like hoodies in between, like with my graphic, but the actual Modest line was in January and it performed really well. And it was actually like shocking. Obviously, it was the first ever thing. So there's so many like changes that I want to make, but we're going to be doing another collection because there's so many people that actually need it. And I've like made sure to push for more representation in terms of just women that are covered. And that means like within the roster as well, making sure that like it's like a mission that they're truly behind on, which it took a long time to really convince anyone like that there's women that train that are covered. And because it doesn't seem like a great opportunity in terms of making money, because obviously people want to buy leggings and shorts and sports bras, and it's such a like niche kind of it was kind of it was a risk for them, which was understandable, but they understand it now, which has been like it's taken a while to really like get to this point, like 2 years I would say. But yeah, now we're like there's many athletes, there's 3, there's so many like affiliates, also modest drops within like just monthly, like month to month. There's so many like modest options, so it's like actually now fully in the brand a little bit. Obviously still pushing for more, but it's been good. It's been
what was the store opening like, the Gymshark store in the Dubai Mall?
Oh, it was sick. It was so cool. Yeah, it was full. I didn't know Gymshark was massive out here. Is it because a lot of people come from the UK, or is it?
No, I think it's pretty much a worldwide brand now. I would love to know what the stats are for how many units of male clothes they sell versus female clothes. I think there was definitely a phase where at one point less men were wearing it. It was very much women, at least who I would see wearing Gymshark stuff. But I think now they've pulled in some of the big dogs. Like now they've got Sebum, now they've got Sam Sulek. You know, I think Phil Heath, there's Brian Terry. So I think they're trying to make it like cool again for the guys. So without a doubt, I'm sure that more men are now interested. But I mean, even just in like the Middle East, like the amount of Muslim women that want to work out in modest clothing. Yeah. Like that's a whole new market which they've opened themselves up to. So
yeah.
Quick pause, guys. I need to tell you something. It's that time of the year where everyone's on the winter arc hype, where they're building their physique, which they plan to reveal at some point in the summer of 2026. But I hate to be the guy that says it. Most of you are going to end up getting fat. You'll be overeating. You'll be following some sort of a program which isn't actually going to be getting your results. You're going to be improvising on the spot, no doubt. You won't be tracking. There'll be no structure, just random exercises with minimal progress seen on a week-to-week basis. Pretty frustrating, right? Well, that's the whole reason why I built the Thirst app, to help busy people like yourself find a system they can actually stick to over a long period of time. We have thousands of transformations from men and women who just plug into the app and get the exact plan they need for their goals, show up to the gym, and just put in the work, all for less than an hour of their time. I've got a special offer running for you guys right now. For less than the price of a one-to-one PT session, you get access to over hundreds of programs and hundreds of different meal plans, everything which you could possibly need to get yourself in shape. So if you actually want to stick to something and see results without taking things to the absolute extremities, click the link in the bio. Let's get on with the video. Have you trained in the female only gyms here?
Yeah, I worked with. Do you know Fit and Glam? Yeah. I worked with them and did like a whole event. But it was good. It was cool. It's so different because I'm used to filming, which in the only women's gyms, obviously you can't film because there's women that go there to train, in shorts and stuff. Yeah. So it's definitely different. I don't think a lot of women. There's a lot of like covered women don't go to the mixed gyms, right? Or do you see? No, yeah. They're all going to the only women gyms. What I have
started to notice now, particularly with the women who they train and they get themselves in great shape. Mm-hmm. So obviously they're curvy. Now, when they are wearing these sports clothes, they're getting a lot of guys staring. And some men, actually quite a lot of men, like they just need to learn to not stare. Like it's pretty weird.
Yep.
So there's a lot of women who they'll go to the gym. They want to train because they like the gym. They don't want to be stared at. They don't want to be hit on. Like, they just want to go and they want to train. So I've noticed that there are a lot of women who they'd be wearing the leggings and like the sports bra maybe underneath, but they have like a baggy t-shirt.
Okay.
So the baggy shirt or top basically covers everything and also covers the glutes.
Yep.
So you can't actually. They're comfortable, but the guys can't see what's underneath.
Yeah, but sometimes it still if you have a shape, it still shows through the shape, which is like even myself, I'm wearing a full on dress to the gym sometimes, and it's like it doesn't like fully, I don't think it will ever fully cover everything. If you're performing an RDL and you're bending over, it's like I still feel uncomfortable sometimes, not like thinking that men are staring at me, just like myself, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I think that like the women only gyms is kind of like the real solution if women don't want to be stared at or if they want to feel like comfortable. But
what do you prefer? Do you prefer the women only gym or training in mixed?
I mean, because I do content, definitely. I mean, I would prefer an only women's gym for sure if I could film in it.
If you film in both, okay.
If I can film in both,
yeah.
I don't mind mixed gyms. It just depends on the environment. But I would prefer an only women's gym for sure because
because we were talking about it before. They got the Oxygen gym in Dubai. That brand itself is just men only.
Yep,
and it's a interesting atmosphere. It's good to like go there to focus, and there's actually a lot of the locals that like to go and train there.
Yep,
but I think I definitely like the mix.
Yeah, it's probably, I mean, because in Islam you're not supposed to be in mixed environments unless it's like necessary because it's like a thing. It's kind of like a distraction in many ways, which I'm sure you could say that women can be a distraction at times.
Some guys will let it be a distraction for sure.
Right.
Other guys will let it be a motivator, perhaps.
Right.
I mean, a few times I might have extended my workout because I've enjoyed the people that have been at the gym.
Yeah.
So I guess it works two ways. But like for me, if I go to the gym, like I'm focused.
Yep.
Nobody's distracting me. I'm there to do my thing.
Yeah.
Do you like to train alone, or I assume you're the type of person that probably likes to train alone?
Yeah, I like training alone. I don't like talking during my sessions that much. Do you?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, you were talking before about like meditation or whatever, but I'll go by myself. I listen to my music. I think the music for me makes the session a lot better, more enjoyable, and it gets me into this zone. Like as soon as I get into that zone, it's like this flow state.
Yep.
Where like it doesn't matter how like difficult or horrible an exercise is, like I'm so there in the moment that I just love it.
Would you ever try training without music?
Done it a few times.
Okay. You don't like it?
Not intentionally. It's just I get there like, don't have my earphones
today.
Okay.
Did you still do the workout though?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Some people will leave.
Yeah. There's been a few times where I'm like, well, I'm not going to train legs today. I'm going to go do something else. But it depends on like gym music sometimes is the absolute worst of the worst.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I would prefer to train in silence than to listen to whatever the hell it is on the radio.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, either way now, I'll get it done, regardless.
That's good.
What's your split like at the moment? Like your approach to training? Because this is what's quite interesting. So I don't know if this has been a thing for you, but where beforehand you may have been training for a particular aesthetic. Now, has that changed? Has your training changed because you're not necessarily that bothered about how you will look visually, but more so performance and how it will make you feel? Or is it still the same type of training?
Now it's more so on how I feel, but it is still strength training. I love lifting super heavy. It was about aesthetics and mainly like glutes, which now I still want to maintain, but I'm not overly focused on having like the biggest glutes or the biggest legs. I kind of want to just
of glute kickbacks.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing. Yeah, so I'm like right now I'm kind of in a mix of like the hybrid training. I'm doing the running and the weightlifting, but I love strength training. Like I don't think anything is going to compare to lifting super heavy.
Yeah,
and
looks cool.
Feels good. It does, and like a heavy Bulgarian split squat. Like I love that. And so it hasn't really changed that much, just incorporating more running. And I think that I still care about my physique because I still see it.
Yeah.
But in terms of just like needing to prove it to people, I don't think, I'm obviously they can't see it anymore. So
yeah, it's not a similar experience, but it's, I guess, something I could maybe relate to a little bit. Like when I lived in the UK, and it was the winters. Obviously, it was very cold, pretty miserable. I was always covered up. Okay. In fact, I realized like the only time I'd actually see myself in the mirror would be when I'm having a shower or if I'm getting changed in the changing room, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what my physique looks like. The rest of the time, it was just like fully covered up. And I did notice that it didn't necessarily change my style of training or how hard I trained, but the motivation to be at a lower body fat percentage was not the same. I wasn't there. And I noticed that I would be not so strict with my diet. I would tend to overeat because I would be like, well, does it really matter? Like if I'm 3% less body fat because I can't see myself and nobody else is going to see it. So why do I need to? Like, did you feel this? Like, did you find yourself eating a little bit more than you should have done?
In the beginning, most definitely. Not even the eating part, but the love for training wasn't the same because it was purely driven off of aesthetics and people seeing my body as well. I mean, it was obviously for myself, but like because I also had people constantly looking at me, you kind of like, I don't know, you kind of fall out of love with it a little bit because I was always covered up, even at home, like just in baggy stuff. And I had to like regain my love and regain the relationship of like looking good for myself because I would get dressed up and go out and people would see me in, you know, in nice like a crop top and tight jeans and my hair and everything. And when you're like fully covered up, you have to make that effort, I guess, and do it. Sometimes I like put on a dress at home and do my hair and nobody sees me because I want to just remind myself of like,
still got it.
I know exactly. Exactly. So it's like, yeah, that's, and I think a lot of women and maybe men go through that still. So that's definitely very relatable. Yeah.
One thing which I think is quite interesting is the hijab is it designed to make you less attracted to men?
Yeah.
So why do some women literally cake the makeup on their face?
Yeah. It's
when it's almost defeating the purpose of you wearing the hijab. Like, I was always a bit confused about that.
Yeah. I think because, so if you cover up your body, obviously all you see is your face. So maybe women just feel the need to maybe overcompensate with makeup, or it's kind of like it all comes down to just like feeling confident in your natural self. Like I struggle with acne and I still sometimes will like put on a little bit of like concealer and try to cover it up a little bit. But even that is not like, that's not the proper hijab. Like hijab means like being your natural self in every single way. And so, yeah, no, makeup is, it's defeating the purpose of relying on the like internal beauty of who you are and showing up as like your raw and real self and having people love you for you in that way. And then I guess the whole like you're still supposed to look nice I guess it is, whenever you have a partner or you get married or you can go out with friends and girls can see you without a hijab, then you like look good for them, I guess, too. Yeah. So, but I guess in terms of makeup, it's just, I don't know, probably it's kind of, you're not supposed to do it. Yeah.
It must be so weird now because of this transition. It's almost like you've unintentionally become this role model that these women will look up to. And nobody is perfect, yet all these women who are also very much about the modesty lifestyle, religion and so on, you're now the person that they look up to. And you doing this is, you didn't do it because you want to be a role model for all these people. You're doing it just for yourself.
Yeah.
But a side effect of that is you now becoming this role model, where I imagine you have to be quite, you got to be careful with what you say, how you present yourself. It must be a lot of pressure. Like, do you feel like you can still be yourself, or do you have to, not say certain things? And
most definitely, I understand the position that I have, and so I have to also make sure that I'm like respecting the religion also. And so I've tried to continue to learn more and more about, I guess, the boundaries of like, if I'm speaking to a man, for example, or if I'm following men on social media, like I'm still trying not to also like, because I had to teach myself the religion and like really dissect like the book basically, because I don't want to be too extreme. You can also like go down. I think for a moment in my life, I like fully was like learning the religion to the point where like I was cutting out everything so fast, and I was like, I guess feeling not miserable, but you just cut out everything at once, and that's not really what Islam is. You're not supposed to go this like extreme route. And so I think I'm like trying to find the balance, but also I also believe in everything that I do, but I also have a side to me that is I love joking around. I love laughing. I guess the camera, or like being on camera now, I think that's why I also want to get into podcasting, is like I feel like I can't be myself sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm learning how to be myself again. I think
I can imagine you just like turning off the camera and just go like, I sometimes have that when I've had to have been like just really serious. Like I'm just doing loads of really serious things.
Yeah.
And I just want to like, I don't know, just make a joke. But I'm like, this is not the time to make a joke.
Yeah.
So I like hold it in. And then when I'm with like my close friends, then I can say what needs to be said.
Yeah.
But I think I'm quite lucky in a sense because I've never really, I guess people know who I am. So I've not really needed to change anything that I've done. Of course, my behavior has changed. And even like, for example, with social media, there was one point where like literally every single post was me topless, like wearing pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And the reason behind that was because of obviously social media. You do the thing which gets the most engagement. So then you're chasing maximum engagement, which obviously is me, where people could see my body doing the exercises or whatever it might be. And then I remember just looking at my feed, just being like, God, like why? And even people would comment, especially the women. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you don't wear clothes, do you?" And I'm like, "Well, I do, but like whenever I posted pictures of me wearing clothes, it wouldn't get as much engagement."
Yeah.
So I fell in that trap of trying to maximize the likes and the shares and the comments and so on. And I think I'd started to grow out of that and be like, "Well, you're very one-dimensional if you just do that, and you're only known as Mike, the guy who has a good body."
Yeah.
Like maybe actually start wearing some clothes and maybe show people that you've got a bit of fashion sense.
Yeah. And personality.
Yes.
Yeah. I had to learn that also, because once you get obsessed with likes and comments and views, it's just, and then you go from, because I went from having like almost 100 million views on like TikTok posts. Like it was millions of likes every time. And so covering up, I had to learn that engagement doesn't actually really matter all the time.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I think it's hard to learn that. And I'm sure you like going through that now, you kind of realize it as well.
I think if your goal is to build a strong brand and a loyal audience, if you go and just constantly chase likes and trends, you almost, you don't really have any proper definition as to who you are, because you're always doing that next thing.
Yeah.
Because you just want those likes. And I've seen a lot of people do some pretty cheesy stuff, which is kind of off brand, just because they want to do the thing that everybody else is doing.
Yeah, no. And long term,
it does not work. So I think if you just stick to your guns, and whenever it comes to building a brand, you list beforehand, what is your brand about? What do you want to be known for? And then before you post anything or before you go and make content, just see, okay, well, is this aligning with everything which I've defined myself as?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then don't do it. It's the same thing with, I'm sure you get it, the amount of brands that want to work with you. Like, well, yeah, you can say yes to everything if you make loads of money, but then there's a lot of companies that might not be on brand with you.
Yeah,
and if you collaborate with them, people are like, this doesn't really make any sense. And then it becomes quite obvious that you're doing it purely for the money.
Yeah.
Like I don't very selective.
I only like work with, I've only worked with like Bloom and Gymshark, and now I've taken on like a skin brand, but it's because I was using them before I even started working with them.
What's Bloom? For those that don't know.
So Bloom is a nutrition brand. It was founded by Greg and Maury, based off of women in fitness that want just like a clean, healthy brand. And yeah, they've started off with greens and like protein powders, and now they're moving into energy drinks, and they have a Bloom Poppy, and they're like competing with big brands. They're in like all retails, everything now. It's mainly in the US. I think they launched in the UK, and I think they're going to come to the UAE as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you've been on quite the journey with the relocation. You're from Dallas?
Dallas, yeah.
And then you went to New York, which
Yep.
actually wasn't that long ago.
No, yeah.
And then you decided to against New York, and you've gone now to Austin.
Yeah.
What's been the reason behind all those moves?
I think getting out of your hometown is important for some people, being away from...
I think everyone should do it.
Yeah, I definitely
for
think
at
so
least
too.
a short amount of time.
Because if you just always have the influence of the people that you grew up with and nobody's changing and you're just staying in that same position, I think it's beneficial for you in many ways. So that was why I kind of went to New York. But it wasn't the right move. It wasn't the right move.
I saw you do that, and I was like, poof. Like,
yeah,
New York is intense.
Oh my God, it's intense. It's people are miserable out there. Like, because there's only the higher class and then there's the lower class, and it's also stinks, and it's just very fast paced. Yeah,
It's my photographer's favorite place.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for creatives.
He loves smells. Yeah.
Oh. Oh my God.
No, New York is. I like New York, but I like to go in and go out.
Yeah.
But I guess in a way it's similar to London. Like, if you have a lot of money, you'll probably really like it and have a great experience.
Yeah.
But New York's like one of the most expensive places.
Yeah.
At least in Manhattan, I'm sure, per square foot, the rent is pretty crazy.
No, it's not good. I'm in Chelsea right now. Well, hopefully by the time I'll be moved before this comes out. Yeah. But I also moved out of Dallas because I had a stalker as well that found my parents' address, my apartment, and
male or female?
Male. And so I wanted to get out of. I think I also wanted to get out of the state.
Does anybody know about this? This is the first time.
No, this is actually the first time I spoke. Okay. But yeah, he actually found my apartment unit, came up to the thing, and it was bad. Yeah, so I think that's also why I moved too. I wanted to just experience.
It's a pretty good reason.
Yeah. But no, now going to Austin, which is the right move. I do have a sister there, so I feel like being by some family is good.
I guess now when you're making these Austin vlogs, you got to be pretty careful with what's in the background.
I don't know. I don't think I can ever avoid it. Have you ever experienced any stalkers?
Yeah.
What happened? Or you don't want to share?
No. So I think the only time it was a problem was when I had my gym. Because that was an actual physical location.
Right.
And everybody, if anybody wanted to get to me or give me anything, they would go there. So I had some odd people turn up.
Oh gosh.
Just not quite right in the head. Just appearing and not leaving. So that was weird. But then when I moved, I learned from obviously the experience I had in Newcastle at the time. So I was a lot more private with where it was exactly that I lived. I would never show the vicinity.
Right.
Or the number of the apartment.
Yeah.
Which is a mistake I made when I moved here.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. When I moved into the first Dubai one, literally the video which I made of me moving in, there was a split second where you could see the number of my apartment when I walked into the apartment.
Oh my gosh.
So people didn't know what building it was specifically, but they figured out where it was that I lived based on the view. So they were like, it's going to be one of these. And then there was one time this person was literally just there, in the lobby on my floor waiting.
That's scary.
Yeah. So this is the thing with social media. It's a price you have to pay. There will be a small percentage of your following who are a little bit odd.
Yeah. The parasocial relationships, right? Yeah.
And we are both the types of people who we share quite a lot about our lives. And it can be a little bit weird. I get stopped in the street by people who I feel like they know me better than I know me. They're like, oh, I remember when you did this thing in 2018. I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. It's really weird. So I especially when it comes to relationships, now I've learned my lesson. I keep relationships very private.
Okay.
That's the one. At least give me one little thing that I can keep to myself. That'll be relationships. Has
relationships been hard being a social media influence? I mean, I haven't really. Obviously, if you now I would have to go straight into marriage, but I don't really date or anything, or I am kind of closed off for. Yeah. But how has it been in terms of how do you know if people are sincere? Do you do it through social media, or are you more of
No, I don't think you can beat a good old fashioned face to face interaction.
You don't think it can?
I think that's the best.
Oh, that's the best.
That's
yeah.
like, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Because if it is through social media or dating apps, you don't necessarily know like what their intentions are.
Right.
I mean, I'm not the type of person that's really flashy or like be like, hey, look how much money I have.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's people coming to me because like, oh, Mike's got money. But if there's the type of people who like the social status or whatever it might be, it is a weird one because it's like, okay, well, take that away. I don't have it anymore. You still want to be with me? Like,
Yeah.
it's, you don't know. So it's weird. Pros, of course, but there's cons.
Yeah.
I think there's probably more pros though.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So yeah. So okay, you've hopefully avoided the stalker.
Yeah.
Austin, new base.
New base. Yeah. I feel like Austin it's a mix between fast pace and then kind of like an LA vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to
yeah.
both. I went to both this year.
Yeah. Oh, so you've been to Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I actually watched your video. Yeah, with you were training with Chris.
Yeah, I did a
Was that in
training
Austin?
session with Chris, and then did a few podcasts there. I tried to kind of see as much as I could. There's obviously a lot which I couldn't see.
Yeah.
But it's a cool place. I like the fact that it's not too flashy there.
Yeah.
Everyone's very humble. Some very successful, very wealthy people there, but they don't really care about showing off.
Yeah.
Lots of people dressed up in like cowboy outfits. Interesting climate. One day it'd be boiling, next day it'd be cold.
Yeah, no, it's kind of hot like Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'll live here forever?
I don't know if I'd say forever, but like at this current point in time, things are good.
Yeah.
But when I have a family, kids, then I've got to think about them and not me. I've been very selfish with my choices and lifestyle, so I'm sure it'd be great for raising kids here.
Yeah. Does it not? Was there a culture shock when you came here?
To be honest, yes, to begin with. But I moved in 2019, so this place was a lot more conservative than it is today.
Oh wow!
Like it was really during Ramadan they would cover everything up.
Oh my gosh!
And a lot of places didn't even open until later on. And I remember I would come off the beach. The moment I stepped onto the path, they were like, "You have to put a top on, like right now."
Oh wow!
Yeah, like they were full on, like you have to cover up now. So it was certainly more conservative, but now it's like very different.
Yeah,
like you see women in the malls not even really covered up that much. I'm like, this would not have been allowed a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and
I think they've just come to terms with the fact that if they want to attract more people to come here, they have to loosen up with the rules a little bit.
Yeah,
but I do very much like that they still are able to enforce a lot of rules, and people here are on good behavior.
Yeah.
Maybe they do whatever they want behind closed doors, but at least in public, everybody's on good form, which I like. But if you go to other places like Abu Dhabi or even Sharjah's very conservative. Like that's still very mixed. Not mixed, sorry. Separate in terms of men and women can't train in the same gym.
Oh.
Can't drink alcohol there. Very dry.
Oh, really?
Emirate. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
And that's right next to Dubai.
Okay.
So, yeah. I'm curious, have you never thought about relocating here? I saw like even with you going to the gyms or even being out in public, people will look at you with the hijab and think that that's like not normal. So if you were here in an environment where there's more women who are covered up, would you not feel more at home, even though it's not technically home?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I do love Dubai, but I don't know if I could live here right now. Maybe if I have like a family and then I could relocate. But I think because it's so far from the US, and
time
also,
zone is nice.
Yeah, it's bad. Also, my audience is mainly in the US. So relocating here, I don't know if that, I mean, I guess you make anything work, right? But
I think I could see you doing a mixture of both.
Yeah.
I feel like with everything that you've got going on and the potential for your new audience, a lot of them will be here. Yeah.
I do feel a sense of peace when I get here, but do you not get caught up in the lifestyle ever? Because it's so, it can be dystopian sometimes. But I love Dubai, but it can feel dystopian sometimes.
I I think here there's an art of not getting too sucked into the craziness and the materialistic side to it. I think maybe in my first year I got caught up in it a little bit, and I was like, well, this isn't really me, and it's a little bit, I don't know, a bit shallow.
Yeah.
So now I like, because I've been everywhere, I've seen everything. There's places here in Dubai that are very wholesome and very normal. I like to go to those places. And there's a lot of very normal people here who are ambitious, driven, good-hearted, and I will surround myself with those people. You also get, like in many cities, the complete opposite to that. But I avoid those places now.
Yeah.
So it's just choosing where you're going to go, who you're going to spend time with. And I think for me, probably the hardest thing at the moment at this time of the year is this is a very stimulating place.
Yep.
Like, this is designed to entertain, and there's so much going on, and it can be quite difficult to switch off. Like, sometimes maybe I'll try to go to like a quiet beach or whatever, but it's just my own fault for like literally basing myself right in the middle of the action, which I like, and then I kind of don't like. But the hustle and bustle motivates me to grind. I think which I've had experience before, if I relocate to a very calm, quiet, peaceful place, it's good for the soul, but not necessarily good for business and networking.
Do you care to be close to family?
Yes, I am very close to my family. But that's probably one of the hardest things about relocating, because they're all still in the UK.
Oh.
My brother's just had a daughter who's like just over a year old. Oh. So like I'm the godfather, the uncle. Every time I see her, I feel like I've never felt that way before. And I've only spent like a short period of time with her, and then I miss her. Yeah. So I try to get them to come out as much as possible, but then I make the effort to go back. But I should see them more. Yeah.
Kids are exciting. Like, that's why I kind of want to be in Austin too. My nieces are there.
Yeah. It's good to be around kids for sure.
Yeah.
One more thing I wanted to touch upon was the Oxford speech and debate, because that was pretty cool. Like, I watched a couple of those videos, and even like beforehand, I was like getting nervous for you. Like, it's a pretty big thing.
Yeah. So the speech hasn't come out yet. I don't know if it. Yeah. They said they're going to put it out, so waiting on that. But it was
on their platforms.
Yeah, on their platforms. Okay. It was scary for sure, because Oxford, I've grown up like watching the debates, and it was intense, but there wasn't like people, like the crowd didn't shout out questions at you or anything. It wasn't, I don't know, maybe it was because, I don't know if it was the people that were there, like we all spoke, but we didn't have like anyone ask questions and stuff. But it was really good. It was definitely a new experience for me to be in that setting. And I honestly came in with the intention, like, ready to debate people, because I love debating. I love debating. I love not arguing, but like I love a good debate, a good challenge. But yeah, it was.
What was the topic on?
Oh my gosh, what was it?
Come on, you practiced this speech probably like 50 times.
Oh my gosh, women's bodies. What was it? The commodification of women's bodies has gone too far.
Wow, okay. Such a complex word.
Yeah.
Commodification.
The commodification of women's bodies has gone too far. Yeah, it was basically, my argument was that women should have the choice whether to choose to show their body or not to show their body. Mm-hmm. And society is kind of, sometimes it's pushing in the direction that women, women have to look beautiful, look a certain way in order to be successful.
Society is definitely
it over-sexualizes women. Yeah. Like, and so that was my argument, that society is over-sexualizing women, and it's putting the pressure on women that they have to look a certain way to be successful. And so that was my argument, and the opposing argument was saying that it's basically giving women more choice and option, like OnlyFans, for example, like that women that choose to do OnlyFans, it's beneficial for them, which I can understand, like if someone's in a really bad situation in their life, but it shouldn't be like, it's actually not benefiting them long term, if that makes sense. Like it's going to put a damage to them, which so that was kind of
I've spoken about it before, like if your intention to start the OnlyFans is because your family's living in poverty and everybody around you, your close ones, are suffering, then okay. If that's the only option, then it
Yeah.
makes sense. But when you have all these other options available to you, you've been brought up in a good family, you're well educated, but still you choose that. It's like,
Yeah.
that's, for me, I always respect the people that don't take the easy option. Like, I myself have had a couple of opportunities that it would have given me money and required very little effort, but it would have come at a sacrifice to my values and my reputation. So of course I was like, well, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, in a way, I guess, because I did social media starting off by showing my body. So would that be the easier option, if that makes sense? Right?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So I guess it can go both ways, but I feel like nowadays I think it is shifting. Like, people are sincerely wanting to listen to people for who they are. And
it's tricky because if you are born with a gift,
yep,
and that gift is you have like just like the craziest physique,
yeah,
like just genetically, or you're like literally stunning,
yep,
like you've just been blessed with the best facial features ever,
yeah,
then you should take advantage of that.
yeah.
But the problem is, especially if it's a visual thing, if you are completely dependent upon how you look visually, that's short-lived.
Yeah.
Because everybody ages, and what happens after that?
Yeah.
That can be very difficult to deal with as you get older. And like the thing which you were known for, particularly if you're a woman, like if you're like a stunning woman, you have all this power over men. You can make men do whatever, especially if you know how to play the game.
Yeah.
You can make them do whatever you want them to.
Yeah.
But then eventually you start to lose that power.
Yeah.
And then you have to kind of, no matter how many surgeries you want to do, you can't get that back. You have to deal with it. I thought about this myself, like, because my identity had been so tied up with my physique. I was like, well, what happens when I get older? Or what happens if I was to get injured and I can't train anymore, then who is Mike Thurston?
Yeah.
Like, who am I without my physique? Are people going to care? Or is people going to watch my stuff?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I need to start doing like other things, just in case that ever does happen.
Yeah. And I think, did you ever feel like empty inside?
Oh yeah, a few times.
Yeah. Like only gaining, I guess, love from the way that you look. It can, yeah, you can have a bad relationship with yourself. I think I went through that a little bit, but there's always love though too.
Yeah. What this is the question I wanted to ask you. What is your definition of female empowerment?
Oh gosh.
That is a big
question.
One which I would always get asked is like, what is your definition of an alpha male? Because that's always a hot topic thing, which everyone is talking about now. Like, what is an actual alpha male? So, what is female empowerment?
Female empowerment, I believe it's allowing women to do whatever they want to do with their life. I do believe that women should have a choice to do any kind of career. But I believe that, oh my gosh.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Because what I have seen on social media is a lot of women who are advocating this female empowerment, but it's a little bit kind of extreme to the point where it's almost anti-male, anti-men. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you got to be this boss bitch who, makes all this money, doesn't need no man. Like, you can be more masculine, you don't have to be as emotional. And then like those women who are preaching that, they're giving off this message to a big audience. And then that audience is thinking, okay, well, this is the type of person that I need to be. And then they almost are moving away from, the type of person who maybe deep down they just wanted to be a mother and have kids and have just a nice family.
Yeah. I definitely think that's a toxic mindset, the anti-men, because I also went through the anti-men mindset.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Because I think when you have a terrible experience with men, sometimes you can just go like fully anti-men, but I started to learn that there's different gender roles. Like, a man can do things that a woman can't do, not in terms of career, I would say. I think that men and women both like have so much value, but I think that men are valuable to women. I work with men and they've done so much for my career, but I also understand that women,
Gotta be careful with what you say again.
it's just trauma. I think it's trauma coming from experiences with men, but right now I'm in this, like, I guess this chapter where my sister's getting married or my sisters are married. My sisters both have kids. One of them is just now pregnant. And so I have this pressure of like, should I still be doing a career and like, am I going to be able to get married and have kids? And there's also this like whole thing about like freezing your eggs or like, and so you kind of get caught up in this pressure of like, do I choose the path of like which way? And I don't think there's ever going to be anything that compares to being a mom. And I'm not even a mom, but I always see the way that women feel so fulfilled with children. And I think that women should realize that maybe you can be both. Maybe you can have a career and be in a loving family and start to learn that also men are not all the same.
It's the social media is very strange at the moment.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen so much anti-men, anti-women content going out there, just like putting us both against each other.
No, it's not good at all.
It's not really giving me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, faith in like relationships and a wholesome family unit. Maybe I need to reset my algorithm.
No, my algorithm is definitely the same. It's also probably the whole like 50-50 thing. Like, I don't know what you think about that, but there's a lot of women that I think it's also toxic because it depends on what the man's career is. But a lot of women there's not, how do I explain this? Would you say it's easier to find high value men compared to high value women in terms of like a man who is willing to take on a lot of pressure, provide? Do you believe in kind of like traditional roles in terms of that? I guess that's kind of the whole thing also, like.
Yeah. I think that definitely works and has proven to work.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, which is not a problem for me because it makes me stand out, but I think a lot of men are becoming softer and lazier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not great for women, because I think women are becoming more successful. They're becoming more independent.
Yeah.
More financially stable. And they're like, okay, well, I don't really want to date down. I want to date equal or above. And as they continue to get more successful relative to the average guy, then the dating pool becomes smaller.
Yeah.
And it just becomes more difficult to find men. Like usually the more successful the men are, they tend to have more options, and then they just are not the best partners because they're a little bit naughty.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. The dating situation, not just here but everywhere, is it's definitely changed, largely down to social media.
Is in terms of like it being bad.
I just think less people are willing to put in the work to make a relationship work, and there's just more options than ever. It's very easy just to be like, oh, well, I got another 10 people lined up here, so I'll just, go talk to one of them.
Yeah. I think women just want commitment. I think that's it, maybe. And a lot of women go through, but I guess it's both sides though. Women cheat, men cheat. Maybe that's where the whole anti-men thing is coming from.
Yeah.
And also,
it's complex. I am not an expert at this. Like, I'm just talking about what I observe. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tricky one.
Yeah. But going back to your female empowerment definition, I think it's letting women do what they feel comfortable doing. Like, and in terms of like feminism, I would always believe in kind of the modern day feminism a little bit, not anymore, because it's like, for example, when I choose to cover, it's a problem, but when I'm showing my body, it's not a problem. Why is that empowerment if I choose to do something? In like, it's oppressive if I choose to cover my body. And so I think that's what like true female empowerment is like everyone supporting each other for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you want the result of your current content at the moment and everything you're doing to be for your audience and the women out there that are watching your videos?
To truly be authentic in themselves and to not care too much about what people think of them and the choices that they make in terms of finding their purpose. Yeah, I would say, and to finding who they really are. I guess that and also faith is a big one, and fitness and mental health. I kind of talk a lot about everything, but really mainly on purpose for sure.
No, you're very like the content which you've been putting out. You're very good at opening up, and I think there's a lot of women who are also dealing with have a lot of obstacles, struggles internally with everything that's going on, and you're an amazing role model for them. And I think the podcast is definitely worth doing. A lot of people will tune into that.
Thanks.
When's that going to be? Do we know?
I think in probably beginning of February, by the time we film all the episodes throughout December and January. So yeah,
you're good. You ask good questions. Like, this is a podcast where I've actually done like more talking than usual.
Okay, nice.
Nobody really asked me any questions, so it was good.
I definitely like being on the asking side more than the talking side, for sure. Yeah.
No, this was good. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
Where can people find you?
I am on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok at Leana Deeb. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.